Hey guys, welcome back to my attempt at making a video once a week. Today I figure while everyone's reminiscing and sharing their memories of the before time, I'm gonna be a total buzzkill and I'm gonna tell you guys the things that I don't miss. Today I'm gonna talk about some of the pet peeves I have as a musician and as a music fan. Some advice when you're doing sound check: don't interrupt your band members. If the sound guy wants to hear guitar, don't do the drum solo. Save yourself the embarrassment, okay? So I'm not sure if everyone knows what I'm talking about, but this is a flyer. I see these all the time, especially among older musicians. I understand maybe you're not super familiar with making flyers, and that's okay, I totally get it. I absolutely hate going to a local show, and you can kind of tell that the PA is not going to be the very best there is, especially at like the smaller bars. They're not going to have like top-notch PA systems like a festival or whatever. So like, okay, maybe people aren't going to be able to hear me on the mic very well. So one thing like I really cringe at is when, and honestly I feel very bad because I know that some people can't tell and you can hear yourself in the monitor perfectly fine, but when the band tries to talk on stage and it just ends up sounding like this.
I'm trying to help you, motherfucker.
And like, I don't know, like no one knows what you're saying, or like maybe people are talking over you and maybe you're giving very valuable information, and honestly I would just try to save that till the end of the show if you're playing at that kind of venue. I've been to venues where the security is pretty much just really bad or basically just non-existent, where I could pretty much bring a bass in and just get backstage and no one would stop me. I think that needs to be fixed. Now let me talk about some pet peeves I have as a musician and someone that plays a lot of local shows. I have a lot. I might actually have to say some of these for a future video, so if you guys end up liking this one, then I'll do more. I mean, you know the drill. Anyways, I think everyone can relate to this. I've seen many memes about it. Can I borrow your gear? Absolutely hate it. Bring your shit. Make a checklist before you go. I brought my stuff, you bring yours, okay? What if I needed equipment and you don't have any? Then whose gear are we gonna borrow now? And I don't know how many venues are like this, but one time I was playing at a venue and we were on stage. My band was playing, and I mean, obviously I'm at the front because I'm singing lead. The band that comes on after us, and meanwhile, we're only like 2 songs into our set. They don't even go on for like another 45 minutes. And they start bringing in their gear and they're putting it right in front of the stage. Like literally, I'm here and here's their gear, and they're coming in dragging all their stuff and just placing it right in front of us. And like, I kind of wanted to call them out, but I got scared. I don't know if it's like this like everywhere, but in LA for sure, they'll be like, load-in is at 4, your set time is at 10. And then they'll try to squeeze in like 10 artists into 3 hours for some reason. And I don't know, not a fan. You have to sell 50 tickets for $15 each to play this show. Here's one really big one that I never understood, honestly, and I've been playing shows since 2011 basically. I never understood why artists have to pay for their parking spots. We don't get designated parking. Sometimes we have to park blocks down the street and carry all our stuff to the venue. But then you know what they do give us is the free beer, and I would much rather have a free parking spot. So besides like being a musician and playing shows, I also help out my boyfriend's band and I take pictures or do merch for them and whatever. One time they were playing at this show, the headliner, his manager, had asked me to do merch for them. I was like, well, I can't because I'm like running around doing all this stuff and trying to make them look good, look better than you guys, so so I said no. I remember him being very mad. I was like, okay, whatever. So then when my boyfriend's band was playing, I went around backstage to try and catch some photos from the backside. This dude's manager gets in my way and says, don't touch my gear. And I'm like, what am I gonna do? Like, maybe you go do merch for your dude. What are you doing around back here talking to me? Like, I don't get it. I don't know if you guys are very familiar with parent managers, like dadagers or momagers. Maybe you've heard those terms before, but I've seen a lot of them. And honestly, I started playing when I was like 14, and the most that my parents ever did, the most that my friends' parents that were also in the band did, they helped us bring in our gear. Honestly, that's pretty much it. They drove us to the venue, helped us with our gear, and that's it. We set up everything. Maybe they help us set up like an amp or whatever. That's basically it. Like, no one's telling us what to play on our set list. No one's telling us who to talk to. And I feel like people should have like a lot more like freedom, especially as a child. I mean, Music is such a creative thing. Also, free Britney, by the way. And last but not least, one of my biggest pet peeves is a label that condones predators. What the fuck? I don't know if any of you guys have heard over the weekend, a lot of women have come out recently about bands that are signed to a label called Burger Records, which is very close to me. It is based in Fullerton, California, and some of the stuff isn't good, and it's not looking good for any of those bands. And as I'm making this video, I've read that Burger Records actually have completely fizzled out. They're no more, so that won't be a problem anymore, but these guys are still out there, and maybe they do make some good music, but a lot of them are pretty mediocre, not gonna lie. And just because these people have like some sort of status, I don't think it's right to not hold them accountable just because you may look up to them. I mean, like, it's very easy to just, it's like trying to stop a habit. Like, just don't support them anymore. That's the most we can do, and eventually a lot of these bands are gonna split, and it's too bad. But hey, this is 2020, so anything goes right now. Don't know what's gonna happen tomorrow, and that's basically the motto of this entire year. But anyways, thank you guys for checking out this video. Leave your comments with what stuff bothers you. I mean, do you go to a show? Is there something you don't like as a fan or as a musician? Let me know in the comments below. I will see you guys next week.